fans, and welcome to Hillside Stadium for today's BCFC game against the visiting Prince George Kodiaks and your Kamloops Broncos. The Kamloops Broncos acknowledge that we are located on the Secwepemc territory situated within the unceded ancestral lands of the Secwepemc Nation. We honor and respect the people, the territory, and the land that houses our community. Please welcome to the field the visiting Prince George Kodiaks. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the third home game of the season. Let's bring in the biggest cheer you've got so far. Broncos fans, let's make some noise! Broncos! Kamloops Broncos starting offense. Offensive line, number 60, Kodiaks.
Yeah, you get the next one.
At O-line, number 71, Devin Dirksen. O-line, number 69, Brandon Woodward. At number 58, offensive line, Chase Jimmy. At O-line, number 68, Alex Crawford. And number 26, starting running back, Van Richard. At quarterback, number 6, Carter Mulder. At number 9, wide receiver, Colton Peterson. Wide receiver, number 85, Ty Holmes. Wide receiver, number 0, Corey Jeeves. Wide receiver, number 19, Brock Duval. And number 17, your wide receiver, Colton Vigo. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you are able. Remove your hats and join our special guest. Great runner in the center of the Kodiaks.
To a brand new week of BC Junior football action here in Kamloops, a beautiful hillside stadium. We have the 2-2 Prince George Kodiaks taking on the 0-4 Kamloops Broncos, and what is a second meeting between these teams in a month in this venue. It was Prince George that came in July 26th and picked up a 33-13 victory. And now they build back-to-back wins coming off a victory at home over Langley. And you have the Broncos still searching for that elusive first victory. Perhaps last week would have been an opportunity to do so. They were in Valley in a battle of two teams 0-3. But Valley on their home field in a rain-soaked evening picked up a 25-8 victory. So with that said, you got the Broncos and the Prince George Kodiaks in what is a beautiful Saturday evening here in Kamloops. I'm John Keane. Thanks for joining us here on BCFCTV.com and TELUS Optic 1981. Broncos hoping their fortunes can turn around under a brand new quarterback, their third this season already, as they welcome Carter Moberg into the mix. He's already had 2 starts, both on the road. He's passed for 256 yards and completed about half his passes here so far in the short stint in the BC Junior League. Now, he's no stranger to BC Junior football, or should I say junior football. Had some great seasons in Regina with the Thunder, Prairie Football Conference champions. So the Broncos hoping that Moberg can move that ball around a little bit here tonight and get it into the receiver's hands, like a Colton Miko, like a Brock Dufour, like a Ty Holmes, and perhaps even get the running backs involved into that passing game as well. So he's a fifth-year starter, and he'll be leading the Broncos here today. He's out of Swift Current, Saskatchewan. And on the Kodiak side, well, they're a team that has been coming on here with 20 players, now 20 or over, and they're led by fifth-year starting quarterback Sawyer Thiessen, who is a bit of a dual threat, passing and rushing. He's one of the top rushing quarterbacks in the BC Junior Football Conference here so far in rushing yards, 99, second only, and I should say a distant second to behind Valley's Keyshawn Dorsey. So Broncos no doubt will have their hands full on a Prince George team that is beginning to build some momentum with back-to-back victories, and they know they can win here after a 33-13 victory back last month here at Hillside Stadium. 35 degrees, not much of a breeze at all. We look at the flags to our broadcast left, and none of the flags are moving, and that is a bit of a rarity for this time of the night here in Kamloops, here located on the hill. And always a factor is the wind, is the breeze, but it doesn't look like it'll be a factor here tonight. And that should play into the kicking game as well, because last time here, Brady Harper, the kicker for the Prince George Kodiaks, had an excellent game. He kicked a 45-yarder, also handled the punting duties, and was excellent on the punting side as well, pinning the Broncos in deep with a couple of those coffin corner punts. So we get set for the Broncos and the visiting Prince George Kodiaks. It looks as if the Kodiaks will be kicking things off, and that will be Brady Hunter handling the kicking duties. And for the Broncos, they'll get a chance here to start with the ball and see if they can get to work here right away. Colton Peterson, one of the deep men, back to receive, along with Owen Stockbrugger. Ball placed at the 45 for Harper, and we're about to get set. New week of BCFC football here from beautiful Hillside Stadium. Let's see if the Broncos make something happen here on special teams here to start the game. Harper looks ready to kick off from the 45, and we are underway. He'll kick it deep, and that'll find Stockbrugger near his 15. He'll cut it across the 25, get near the 30, still on his feet, and he's wrestled down around the 32-yard line, and that is where Carter Moberg and this Broncos offense will go to work. Now, the Broncos offense has been anything but this season. If you look at the point totals that this team has put up, 30 points scored in just 4 games. So they want to get the offense going here and see if they can play some complementary football with the defensive side of the ball. So the Broncos start with Cam Jagorczyk in the backfield, in behind Moberg. 4 receivers and play action. No, it is Jagorczyk. Not a lot of room, though, as he ran to his left. Jagorczyk will get maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Might even lose a yard on first down. Cam Jagorczyk, though, coming off a great game last weekend in Chilliwack. He was fantastic putting up 95 yards on the ground, and we mentioned that rain-soaked game, so it was definitely a run-heavy offense for both teams in that one, with Valley coming out in front 25-8. Second and long. Moberg back to pass. Pressure coming. He'll throw it out. Jeeves can't handle it. And Jeeves thrown down late on the play. Coverage provided on the play by Macklin Noonan. And it will be a 2-and-out early for the Broncos here on first down, on the first possession of the football game. Jeeves will stay in and punt. He has been their punter and a receiver here, double duty. And now we'll try to handle this punt again. No wind, no breeze for this matchup, and the Kodiaks should get good field position here on their first possession. We'll see how Jeeves can handle this snap and get it down the field. It's a good snap, and he will get it off. Little bit of pressure, a high punt. It'll come down around the 50-yard line. It's handled there up the middle. Little bit of room here on the punt return. Still on his feet is Andrew Brown, and Brown wrestled down, not before some flags on the play as Jeeves was upended in behind the play. But Brown's one of the top punt returners in the league this season. He had a little bit of room, and he was eventually taken down and tackled on the play by Stockberger. And it will be the Kodiaks going to work under fifth-year quarterback Sawyer Thiessen. Thiessen's numbers this year: 621 yards passing. That ranks him fifth, but we mentioned he's a bit of a mobile quarterback. And a penalty against the Kodiaks here on the return with that flag will turn them all the way back on their side of the field. They'll spot the ball at the 46-yard line near hash as we see it on Telus Optic Channel 1981. And the Kodiaks will go to work here on offense for the first time. Well-balanced offense, and four receivers will line up to the right side, the wide side of the field here for Thiessen. Halverson has been their back. He's been their bell cow. And back to pass goes Thiessen. Well protected. He'll lay it out right side. Looks for room and just overthrows his receiver. It was off the fingertips of the intended target. Looked like that was thrown in there really nicely by Thiessen. Good touch on that ball, but just out of the reach of Carson Briere, who's been one of their go-to receivers this season. So the Kodiaks come out throwing here on first down, and instead it'll be 2nd and 10. There's four receivers that lined up on the right side of the field. They'll line up three over there on the near hash out of the shotgun. Backfield empties. Thiessen rolls to his right. He'll look there. Has a receiver open. It's caught. First down yards and more near the 45-yard line as Cale Cowley came up with that ball. Cowley on a little route and caught its stride, and he's able to run after the catch and get that to the Broncos' 45-yard line out of bounds. And the Kodiaks convert on 2nd and long. They'll spot the ball at the 46-yard line. Far hash as we see it now. Halverson in the backfield. Yet to get a touch. We'll see if they go there now. Four receivers to the quarterback's left this time. Backfield empties. Thiessen back to pass. Pressured out of the pocket. Looks like he'll take off. No, he'll throw near sidelines, and it's incomplete. In and out of the hands here on the near side on the intended target. So Thiessen able to get away from a little bit of pressure before throwing that ball, looking for Matthew Sturgis. Sturgis had a chance to come up with it, couldn't do it. And again, it's 2nd and 10. Changes on offense here for the Kodiaks. We mentioned coming off back-to-back wins. Clock runs here in this first quarter. First possession of the game here for the Kodiaks. Shotgun formation once again. Halverson empties the backfield, rolling to his left. Thiessen will throw it out. It's caught, looking for first down yardage and more, out of bounds. And that time they get the running back involved. Actually, that's Ben Fair on the reception. Ben Fair's been one of their top receivers this season, and he's able to get the first down yards on the catch and run play. Entered the game with 18 receptions, 3rd overall in the league. So he's been a favorite target for sure of quarterback Sawyer Thiessen, a veteran 5th-year player. First down. Spotted at the 34-yard line. Shotgun, Halverson this time up the middle, runs into two Broncos, including the D lineman on the play being Chinza Iloka. And Iloka's in on it along with a tackle there by Dylan Woodman. Good stop on first down. And the Broncos respond here in the running game right away. So first running play for the Kodiaks comes deep in this drive. 2nd and 10 as Halverson got back to the line of scrimmage. Now 4 receivers to the right side on the wide side of the field. Thiessen looks that way, looking. Now he'll take off, puts his head down. He'll have first down yards and more. Still on his feet and tackled near the 20-yard line, and that's the threat we talked about as Thiessen was able to make the play, get down the field, and pick up about 16 on that run. And that's the first down. We mentioned he is mobile. 2nd most rushing yards for a quarterback this season. He showed it there, getting the ball down to the 21-yard line. Kodiaks now on the near hash. Fresh set of downs here to operate. Thiessen in the shotgun. 3 receivers to his left side now. Looks like a running play. Give up the middle and room to run here. Fighting forward down to the 5-yard line and more. As Halverson again on the carry. That's a better touch for him as he took it right up the middle. There was a good block at the point of contact. He's able to cut it all the way down before a tackle on the play there from Lucas Yanchison. Yanchison, the leading tackler for the Broncos so far this season out of Winnipeg. But it is now 1st and goal for the Kodiaks here inside the 5-yard line. Shotgun formation. They will. Quarterback keep. Pitched off. Fumble on the play. Can the Broncos get on it? I think they did. We'll wait and see. And the Broncos get a huge break as they recover the fumble on the option play. And it's Yatchinson again who's able to get on that ball. And that's a huge turnover here for the Broncos early in this first quarter. A little bit of a cute play. Quarterback able to pitch it out. And Halverson just never got the handle onto it. It was loose for a second. But it is Yanchison who comes up with it, and the Broncos will go to work here on offense deep inside their own territory, but that is a massive play to keep 6 off the board and keep this game scoreless. Deep inside their own territory. Moberg will handle the snap. He will hand off, looking for a little bit of room, not much for the diminutive running back. And Jagorczyk will get maybe a yard on first down. 2nd and long, deep inside the territory. Not much on that carry. Again, not a lot of running room here early for the Broncos in this one. Let's see if they can spring Cam Jagorczyk here at some point in this football game. Operating from the shotgun from his end zone. Moberg back to pass. Pressure comes. Thrown, caught. Trying to get some first down yardage. And close, but maybe a yard or two short on the play. And that was completed too. I believe that was Hastings Radbourne. Let's see, trying to get a number on this player. And it'll be 3rd and about 2, and it looks like a punting scenario. So Moberg put it into the hands of his receiver. And just not quite enough room to find a little bit of room. Brock Dufort, Dufort, who has a couple of touchdown receptions this year. And it'll be 3rd and long in a punting scenario. Do the Broncos punt this one, or do they concede the 2 points? We'll wait and see what Corey Jeeves has in mind. He stands about 3 yards deep inside his end zone. Broncos have been taking safeties, and they've had no problem doing it. But this time, Jeeves will punt it on a line, fielded at the 45-yard line. It's Brown again, dances out of traffic, still on his feet. Now he's brought down inside the 35-yard line. Good tackle on the play from Ariel Ciccone, linebacker playing special teams. And good field position here again for the Kodiaks here midway through this first quarter. Beautiful sunny day, 35 degrees at about 5 o'clock today. As the Kamloops, it's a bit of a warm spell, 35 today, 37 tomorrow possibly and into Monday. But as you can see, a nice clear evening. It's been a nice summer as far as keeping the smoke out of the interior so far. Handoff up the middle, little bit of room, not much, fighting forward, and eventually taken down or stopped his progress on the play was Simon Olaifa, backup running back. We saw Olaifa get some carries in the game last month here. He spells off Halverson here for this series. It's going to be about a gain of about a half a yard, maybe one. And the Broncos here trying to hold the Kodiaks here to a potential field goal attempt, and they have the leg that could do it, and Brady Harper, we saw that. He has the longest field goal in the BCFC so far this season, 45 yards. Back to pass. Thiessen airs it out into double coverage, overthrows the intended target as Thiessen wanted it all, but overthrew the target into double coverage as well. Nice ball. Again, Thiessen showing he can air it out, but too much under that one for Carson Briere. Will they try the field goal here? They have had the opportunity where this, if they do attempt it, I think they're going to try the field goal here from the near hash. It would be about a 40-yarder. We mentioned Harper already has a 45-yarder. It's going to be just outside the 40, call it the 41-yard line. And Harper has the leg for it, we know that. Top kicker in the league this season. Good snap, ball is down, has a lot of distance, and he is good. Good kick for Harper, and he'll put the first points on the board. So it's a quick 3 points for the Kodiaks. I think the Broncos will take that as a bit of a win after the Kodiaks had good field position but were unable to advance the ball for a first down. 41-yarder for Harper, and he's been excellent. You look at his numbers this season. Harper now 8 for 9 in field goals this year. We mentioned his long of 45. That was 41, and he was a big story in the game a week ago. Broncos back on offense. Moberg, far sidelines, finds his man, and try to cut it up for first down yardage. Should have it. And the Broncos will move the chains on that opportunity. First down Broncos. That quick. Brock Duford, I think, was the intended target. It's a long ways away from our broadcast location here. And much of the Broncos have switched up their jerseys here this season, and the numbers have shrunk a little bit on the broadcaster. They'll line it up. First down. Jagorsik in the backfield. Back to pass. Moberg will hand off. Jagorsik looks for room on the left side. Has some room. Gets near midfield. Crosses the center stripe. He'll have about 6, maybe 7 on first down. Productive yards there from Cam Jagorsik. See, the Broncos can move the ball. We're told likely won't be attempting any field goals here this evening. They're in between kickers is the best way to put it. They're supposed to get some help next week, but if it's not a punt, it'll be 3-down territory for the Broncos here again tonight. They do have a kicker listed. Luke Grindley will handle the duties, but he's usually a defensive lineman. That pass just in and out of the arms of the target near the 50. Waved off right away by the official. And that quick little pass that would have been near first down yardage. And again, the intended target there, a busy man, has been Brock Duford so far. And that will bring out the punting team here to try to punt this ball down and pin the Kodiaks deep inside their own zone. So Jeeves again to punt. This will be his third punt already of this first quarter. I just got to watch. You got Colton Meikle on special teams lining up at the bottom of the screen. And always a threat. And here's Jeeves going to take off. No, he'll get it away anyways. Jeeves with a really good punt, chasing Harper back to the 15-yard line. He'll cross the 25 and dance out of bounds. But Jeeves looked to be in big trouble. He shakes off a tackle, spin-a-rama punt, and he's able to get it down deep Harper, I should say, Brown's able to make some sort of yardage out of it after he had to track back to get that punt over his shoulder. Did a really good job to do that and gets a return of about 12 yards before stepping out of bounds. So the Kodiaks go to work, spot the ball at about the 27-yard line. And see the Broncos have another hold in them like we saw on that last series. Broncos defense, for the most part, has held them into games this year. You think last week's only giving up 25 points. Just unable to get much offensive production. Here we go, shotgun. Quarterback Thiessen chased out of the pocket, dancing back. He'll dish it off. He was looking for someone, and I think was just trying to throw that one away near one of his players. And look, the flag does come out. They might get Thiessen for intentional grounding. And if that is the case, that'll chase them all the way back to the 17-yard line. Head official Sandy Baines will make the call here, intentional grounding, as Thiessen has got that ball away, wheeled away from pressure. And that'll be second and long, very long after the intentional grounding play. As it looked like there was a Kodiak in the area code, but not an eligible receiver. So that brings up second and call it about 22. Here on second down, deep inside Kodiak's territory. Back to pass. Thiessen pressured and able to get away from his sack. Now he'll throw it up. There's a receiver wide open, but he overthrows him again on the far sidelines. It looked like Thiessen was all wrapped up. Looked like on the play that Lenny Berg was going to make that sack, but Thiessen's able to get it away and air it out. There was an open receiver down the far sideline, but he overthrew another target, and that'll bring up a punting scenario. And Harper, handling double duties, will get out there and punt this one away for the Kodiaks. And we showed he's got a good leg. He's accurate as well. He was able to pin the Broncos in deep a few weeks back and get that ball out of bounds inside the 20. Early movement by the looks of things. Flags fly. Ball's up. Punt that'll bounce near center. Hopped over Colton Meikle. He's got to go back and get it. Looked like no yards on the play, too. They will call that. Meikle will be wrestled out of bounds. Stays on his feet into the Kodiak sidelines, into their bench over there. But multiple flags. Early movement. No yards. And we'll have to sort this all out. I believe the early movement was the Kodiaks. And they might be repunting this ball, considering that it didn't net the Broncos great field position. Two other games on the schedule this week, as we got Battle of the Island going on between VI and West Shore, that game at West Shore, and also this evening Valley Huskers in action. See if we can get a ruling on what's going on here. I think the Broncos might just take the yardage from where it was. And they'll move it up 5. And it will be the Broncos taking over after the no yards call. So we'll see if the Broncos here can move the ball here. They've been trying to pass it through the air, trying to get some things going. So VI at West Shore. And that's a marquee matchup this week. 4-0 team Okanagan Sun, they lead the way. And the BCFC right back on top. Shotgun, Moberg, passes, caught. Inside the near hash, or the far hash. And that's Colton Meikle. Meikle, their premier receiver, is able to move the sticks. And it's been a bit of a hard luck for the West Side product lately. He's had touchdowns of 70 yards or so called back in back-to-back weeks on the road. One was for a offensive pass interference. Another was for a hold in behind the play on the block. So a bit of hard luck here for Colton Meikle, but he's able to bring that one in. And only his 13th reception of the season, but he's now over 100 yards receiving on that first down. The veteran who's been at BC Lions training camp a couple of years. Moberg hands off this time, looking for room. Jagorczyk, he is going to be snowed under, though, and will lose a yard or two on first down. Moberg trying to, or I should say Jagorczyk trying to pick a spot, try to find a little bit of room, but just wrapped up and tackled, and there's a bunch of big boys on this D-line on this veteran Kodiak side. Loss of about 2 brings up 2nd and 12 from the 54-yard line. Getting late in the first quarter, the Kodiaks from a field goal from Harper lead this game 3-0. Shotgun, back empties, and it's thrown far sideline. Near sidelines out of the hands and incomplete, as they were looking for Ty Holmes on the near sidelines. And that was a little bit tough there. You see the shadows on the field. Holmes had to sort of get in the shadows and find the ball as the ball would go from bright to dark and try to bring it in, but there was good coverage on the play. And that'll bring up another punting scenario here for Jeeves and this Broncos offense. So Jeeves standing at his 40. And back to return the punt is Andrew Brown. Brown's had good success fielding punts and getting some positive yardage. Good snap. Jeeves this time gets it off. He'll angle it away from Brown. He's able to go over and make the catch around his 12. Tries that right sidelines, runs to the far sidelines, and eventually is pushed out of bounds. Now just wait, and that might be Broncos football, and I think it is. It was fumbled by Brown, and the Broncos last to touch it out of bounds. Let's get a look at the replay. Brown tried to protect the ball, but it was whacked away out of the hands by Ty Holmes on special teams. And Holmes makes the play out of Aberdeen, Saskatchewan, and it will be Broncos football, a second turnover in their favor. And on the far sidelines, a good, quick call by the officiating crew to signal Broncos football. That sets them up well. Nice play by the usual receiver, Ty Holmes, who stays in the game here now for this offensive play. The wide receiver lining up here on the wide side of the field, just below. You can see him at the bottom of your screen, bottom right-hand side. After that play, back to pass. Moberg over the middle, caught, and a little bit of room. First down yardage on the play. Colton Peterson getting involved in the offense, and that's the first down for the Broncos. Quick little play there to the Kelowna native, Colton Peterson. And the Broncos for the first time inside the red zone in this football game. There have been success passing, not a lot of room in the running game. Jagorczyk is in the backfield, in behind Carter Moberg. Back to pass, well protected. Moberg throws it up, has Mikko look like he was bumped trying to get to that ball. And there's a flag, but it's in the backfield, usually in the area of either holding or roughing the passer. And it's going to be a holding call against the Broncos, so that'll move them back 10. And we mentioned that Moberg was well protected, and that might have been why there was a hold in there, as head official Sandy Baines indicated. Holmes a little bit shaken up here. He's going to come to the sidelines under his own power. He did take a knee, but Holmes will make his way to the sidelines. Looks to be okay. Looks like he'll be out a couple of plays, be right back out there. Ball at the 30-yard line. Holmes, we mentioned, from Aberdeen, Saskatchewan, also where former Kamloops Blazer and now a wheelchair Canadian national team member. More on that in a second as the Broncos go to work here on first down. 1st and 20 after the holding call. Moberg throws it out. Good shoestring catch by Jeeves, and Jeeves will get inside the 25-yard line. And it's going to bring up 2nd and long now on the play. But we're talking about Kyrell Sopatik, who's also from Aberdeen originally, and the former Blazer, was just part of Canada's national team at the International Wheelchair Basketball Association America's Cup, Copa America, if you will. And they got to the bronze medal game before losing to the host Columbia squad by a point. But Holmes from Aberdeen still out of this game for now. Moberg rolling to his right. Quarterback under some pressure. Might have room to take off. Will he? He will. He'll get down the sidelines and get out of bounds. We'll see where he is as far as trying to get that first down, but basically getting back to the original line of scrimmage. And now we got a late flag on the play. Did Moberg take a late hit out of bounds? There wasn't much to it. Something happened here, and now the officials will talk it over. And we'll see. Flag flew right at the end of the play. Moberg might have been talking as well after the play. Cullen O'Brien was the player that escorted him out of bounds, but he might have done it a little bit. Yeah, it will be unnecessary roughness. And so going against the Broncos here, I believe. Just wait. So end of the quarter, and that's why the Broncos are walking backwards, because they are going to the other side of the field. But I believe that was unnecessary roughness against the Kodiaks. It was. Okay, so that's been confirmed. That'll bring up a first down and goal here likely for the Broncos as we switch sides. 3-0 for the Kodiaks. Only points so far. A 41-yard field goal from the golden leg of Brady Harper. And that's all we have on the board. Although the Broncos are threatening here after that run from Moberg. And then the unnecessary roughness play on the sidelines. And a little bit of a personal connection here. Carter Moberg, his dad Eldon. I used to work with him back in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. And nice to see his son. And when I left Swift Current, Carter wasn't too old, but now here he is, of course, a veteran junior football quarterback. And with that out-of-bounds run and drawing the penalty, that'll move the ball all the way. I think they'll spot it right at the 1-yard line. So shout out to the Mobergs, both Eldon and Sherry back in Swift Current, unless they're in the stadium here tonight at Hillside Stadium. And let's see the Broncos quarterback elects to keep this ball or not. Again, the Broncos touchdowns have been hard to come by, but they got an opportunity here to try to punch it in and take the lead. From the shotgun is Moberg. He will hand it off. Jagorczyk will go in, and he won't be touched. It's a touchdown for the Broncos. And the Broncos have the lead here on that little pass, or that little handoff to Jagorczyk. He puts it in from the 1, and you question the shotgun scenario in a first and goal from the 1 spot. But Jagorczyk goes in untouched, does a little dance, and he is in. Now, this could be a bit of an adventure on the convert here, everybody. It will be Luke Grindley, a usual defensive lineman, to kick this convert. And again, we mentioned the Broncos are in between kickers. They feel they found one, a local product. But for now, it's Grindley here. Let's see. And the big guy, he just can't quite get it up in time. And that'll be blocked on the convert attempt by the Kodiaks on a bit of a line drive kick by Luke Grindley. So the lead is 3 instead of 4, but the Broncos will take it. Thanks to a couple of turnovers, they've been able to not only keep this game close, but now have their first lead here early in this second quarter. Again, the Broncos using Grindley to kick field goals, but kickoffs, I believe, will be handled by Empoyo. Jacob Empoyo handling the kickoffs. We'll see if that is the plan here. It looks to be the plan, as the Broncos get really creative in their kicking game here this week. So Jacob Empoyo will kick it off from his 45-yard line after the Broncos major. It's booted, handled near the 15-yard line. Trying to go up the sidelines, a little bit of dance, and eventually tackle on the play is Marcel Stewart. And then a late flag comes in here. Well, it's been a bit of flag football here lately. That flag by the sidelines of the Kodiaks. The Broncos have had the benefit of the flags here so far. Not sure about this one as the officials talk it over. Something at the end of that play. Head official Sandy Baines who has the white cap. You can see him there wearing 18. He's our head referee here this evening. And let's see what the call will be. Again, at the end of the play, unnecessary roughness. And it's going against the Kodiaks. So the Broncos, the benefactor of another flag going their way. And that'll push the Kodiaks well back to their own 21-yard line to begin this series. But Cam Jagorczyk on the board with the touchdown. And the Kodiaks now trail by 3. Clock running as we get underway here in this first offensive possession of the second quarter for the Kodiaks. Quarterback Sawyer Thiessen operating with one in the backfield in the shotgun. Handed off up the middle, little bit of room pushing forward across the 25 to the 26. And trying to get a number on that running back. Ryder Stoughton, 26. Simon Olaifa again, backup running back, getting the carry and getting about 7 for his troubles. So a bit of a 1-2 punch with Halverson and Olaifa. And now we got a timeout being called here by the Kodiaks as they were attempting a 2nd and 3 play. Maybe didn't have the personnel. It's hot down there too. You have to take advantage of these water breaks right now. We mentioned kickoff temperature about 35. There isn't much of an air conditioning breeze either. Sunset in Kamloops here tonight just after 8 o'clock. So these players right in the sun. For the Broncos sideline now, the shadow is able to creep up and at least keep them on the sidelines out of the sun. But the Kodiaks will deal with the sun here until it goes down here in the interior. 2nd and 3 out of the timeout. Quarterback Thiessen. Again, Olaifa in the backfield. 2nd and 3. Will he just turn it off and hand it off? No, play action. Back to pass. Thiessen chased out of traffic. It looks like he wants to take off. Pressured from behind. Shakes one tackle. Still on his feet. Dances out of bounds near the 44-yard line. And that's all Sawyer Thiessen again getting it done. He has been the running game for the Prince George Kodiaks so far. And the veteran 5th-year QB able to escape some pressure, get away from a tackle that would have forced them off the field, and get it to a first down. They're going to say 40-yard line is where he stepped out of bounds. So they'll move him back initially from what I thought. 1st and 10. Screen pass, far sidelines. Again, overthrows his receiver. And Sawyer Thiessen's just got a little bit too much jam here. Maybe fired up a little bit too much. He's overthrown some receivers. That time he was looking toward the far sidelines and unable to find his target, which was on the play, Matthew Sturgis. Sturgis looking back into the sun for that ball as well. Didn't help. 2nd and 10. Broncos look for a stop here with the lead. Trying to get the ball back. Thiessen back to pass. Pressure coming from the end. Screened off and caught. First down yards and more. Near midfield and out of bounds. Good little play over the middle. And on the reception, Nicholas Ramirez, his first catch of the game. And that'll get the Kodiaks across midfield. The only thing that's really slowed the Kodiaks down so far has been a couple of turnovers. One near the Broncos' goal line in the first quarter, and then one on that punt return that put them in a tough position deep inside their own territory. They cross midfield here from the near hash. 3 receivers to the wide side of the field left in the shotgun. Thiessen turns and hands it off. Up the middle. And Olaifa, attack goal, pushed, forced backwards, but his forward progress should be good for a few. Forward progress will give him still about 4.5, 5 yards on first down. Checking out of the game for the Broncos here is Chinza Iloka, the Australian defensive lineman, as the BC Junior Football League is definitely more worldly this year than in years past. 2nd down and call it 4. Pressure and dumped off. It is caught. Trying to cut back in the field of play. Stepping out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Tackle on the play there from Lucas Patterson on the far sidelines, but it's good enough for the first down as Thiessen is ranged to his left. Found his target. And getting first down yardage, Myron Brown. Spot the ball at the 30-yard line. Good drive going here for the Kodiaks. So the Broncos up 3 here in this second quarter. Shotgun again for Thiessen. One on the backfield. He will hand it off. Olaifa up the middle. He'll get about 4, maybe 5. What positive yards on first down? Haven't seen a lot of Halverson handling the rock, and again they're going back to Simon Olaifa. Second and about 6. Broncos trying to get off the field and force another field goal attempt here from Brady Harper. Extra time in the huddle here for the Kodiaks on second down from the far hash. Thiessen, empty backfield, rolls to his right, looks for a target. Will he take off again? He'll throw. Has the receiver open, caught, still on his feet, tackled eventually down by the 3-yard line. And it'll be first and goal as Thiessen creates again, rolling to his right. Found his man, and again, these numbers very difficult to identify, the yellow on white, but we can tell you that was hauled in by Myron Brown again. He's having a good drive. First and goal from the 2-yard line. Now the white base on yellow numbers, just not ideal for player identification. Second time the Kodiaks have been up here for a game under head coach Jamie Borm. Up the middle, Olaifa fights forward, doesn't get there, gets about a yard, and a little bit of a battle for the ball on the play. But I think it will be, possession will be maintained by the Kodiaks as Luke Grindley came up with that ball at the end of the play. Forward progress had stopped. Okay, second and goal now. Ball spotted just outside the 1-yard line. Thiessen out of the shotgun. One on the backfield. Early movement and a direct snap. It's a touchdown, but did we get a flag on the play or are we good? And there was a flag down. Let's see what the call is. Looked to be some early movement, but I think it's going to be against the Broncos. Offside looks to be the indication, and the Kodiaks will put up their first major of the football game, and they'll retake the lead. So the Broncos might have lined up offside, and we often see teams do that when they're backed up against their own goal line. So the 6 points puts the Kodiaks in front by 3. And a chance here for the convert for Harper, who's been perfect this season in converts. Perfect 8 for 8. Chance to make it 9 for 9. Kick is up. And Harper, who might be the top kicker in the league, pounds that one through near the Tournament Capital Center. And the Kodiaks in front now, 10-6. Here in this second quarter, Hillside Stadium. John Keane calling the game. My regular colorman, James Bicknell, has the night off. And in fact, James will be taking over play-by-play duties here coming up the rest of the season. September 27th, home game, and then October 4th in the regular season finale against the Okanagan Suns. So see if the Broncos can find a win here before we hand the headset over to James. 10-6 Kodiaks. They get set to kick things off. Deep for the most part has been Stockbrugger and Colton Peterson at times. And it's Colton Peterson back along with Stockbrugger to return this kick. Beautiful night for football as the shadows begin to creep a little bit onto the playing surface. Harper kicks off. It will be Peterson from his 7. He'll take off. Peterson looks for a little bit of room on the sidelines. Keeps it in bounds. Now comes out across the 30-yard line. Able to stay on his feet. Get the ball out of bounds. Good kickoff, deep one down on the 7-yard line before Peterson took over. So it's Moberg and the offense back to work here for the Broncos, who trail by 4 points. Touchdown from Cam Jagorczyk on a 1-yard run. Lone major of the game for the Broncos. Again, a team that only has put up 30 points in 4 games so far this season. From the shotgun, Moberg over the middle, has a man. It's caught near first down yardage. Good hit on the play, but it's going to be first down yardage for Brock Dufort. Dufort leading receiver for the Broncos this season out of Clavette, Saskatchewan. And Dufort also a couple of touchdowns as well this season. But he entered the game with 123 yards, 2 touchdowns. 15th in receiving yards, and those 2 touchdowns, by the way, tied for second in the league. A long list of receivers with 2 touchdowns, and he's one of them. Getting the chains set here for this first down play from the 42-yard line after that gain of 10. Moberg out of the shotgun, trying to get organized here. 3 receivers wide side of the field right. He'll look left, though. Airs it out, has a receiver caught, and first down yardage. Ty Holmes on the reception. Good tackle right away there on the tackle. Meeting him immediately was Charles Chamali, who's one of their top defensive backs. Chamali made the tackle, not before first down yardage. Getting that ball to Ty Holmes. So Moberg's been well protected, and he's throwing that ball around, doing a really good job of distributing that ball to all his receivers so far this evening. First down yardage from the 46. They'll hand it off. Jagorczyk trying to pick his way through, but maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage on the play. Give him a yard for Jagorczyk, the native out of Winnipeg. Doing an interview with Cam Jagorczyk last home game, and I guess the interview went a little bit long, and Cam's dad said, that's about enough of that interview. We want to talk to our son. So shout out to the Jagorczyk family there in the post-game interview scrum. Back to pass. Moberg rolls to his right. Well protected. Throws on the run. Has a receiver. Was it brought in on the far sidelines? It was. No, they're going to say incomplete. Colton Peterson, the intended target. See if he caught this and just couldn't quite stay in bounds. Well-delivered ball and not just in and out of the hands. Peterson is unable to corral that, and that's always a tough spot right in front of the opposition sidelines. So it looks like a punting scenario here on third down. Corey Jeeves will punt this one away as we tick with 7 minutes to go here in this first half. Good snap. Jeeves trying to angle this one to the sidelines. Will pound this one out of bounds, and that was a little bit too far on the angle out. Kind of had the angle pretty deep, and it's not going to be a lot of net yards after the spot here. Looks like the 33-yard line is where those spots. So that's disappointing. The Broncos have to be so good on special teams. They can't allow special teams to hurt their game. They have to win or break even on special teams, but a punt, a net yards here of maybe 18 yards is all that the Broncos will get out of that. And the Kodiaks go back to work on offense, coming off a touchdown. Halverson now back in the game at the running back spot. He'll get the ball. Looks to his right, gets a block. Stiff arm trying to go and avoids our camera down there. Thanks very much, crew. And that actually on the play, that's Xander Shane. Haven't seen Xander Shane handle the ball that much, but that's Xander Shane and not Halverson. So you got to wonder about the health of the number one back of the Kodiaks. Olaifa has been there. He's handled a lot of the duties so far tonight and this season. But there you see Xander Shane getting the carry. 2nd and 3 after a run of 7. Backfield empties. Back to pass. Thiessen looking to go deep. Looks downfield. Pressure out of the pocket. Now he throws it away. And the Broncos, good pursuit, good pressure. A couple of Broncos there providing that pressure on the play, including Lenny Berg, who's been all over that backfield here so far. Veteran Bronco coming back late this season. And that'll force a punt here for the Kodiaks with under 6 minutes to go here in the quarter. Big hold for the Broncos here in their home field. Try and get this ball back. So the short punt doesn't hurt them. Ball spotted at the 35-yard line, and that's where Harper will punt. Standing back near his 20. 2 men deep on this punt for the Broncos. No pressure provided. Harper gets it away, end-over-end punt. That'll bounce. Someone pick it up if you're the Broncos here. Get that no yards call, and they will, yeah. Jumping on the ball there is Colton Peterson. He'll get the 5 yards, no yards penalty tacked on. Good awareness there by Peterson. And the Broncos will take over here on offense. Mentioned the Broncos looking for that first win of the season. Prince George 2-2. And a team that has been coming on here lately. Chance to build some momentum. Remember, top 4 teams make the playoffs in the BCFC. And the Kodiaks are trying to be a team that gets into the postseason here in year 3 of their organization. Under head coach, former punter himself, Jamie Bourne in the CFL. Moberg, 3 receivers to his right. He'll look over the middle, looking for a man, and tipped and then caught. What a play. 5 to the goal line, and down at the 1, no, touchdown. What a play. Tipped by Brock Dufort to himself, and Dufort able to find it and score the major. What a ball from Moberg. The flag, I think, would have been for a horse collar tackle on the play. Moberg over the middle delivers. Ball tipped up, and Dufort stayed with it. Horse collar tackle attempt didn't matter as Dufort found his way in for his 3rd major of the football game. And the Broncos have retaken the lead on their 2nd touchdown of the football game. And let's see, are they going to try the convert? Or are they going to go for 2? They look like they just, well, no, they got the got Grindley in to take a look at trying to handle this convert. I think the signal from head coach Braden Van Kennett is to go for 2. And he signaled that. So they will spot the ball here at the 5-yard line, and they will put the offense back on the field for a chance to get this to a nice even 14. 12-10, Broncos now lead on an unbelievable play on the pass from Moberg and the reception from Brock Dufort. So Moberg goes back into the huddle for an attempt to try and advance this lead here to 4. Meikle in the slot. Jeeves into the backfield. Jeeves has a 2-point conversion by way of a handoff this season. It's thrown and nearly intercepted, but it'll fall incomplete. So the Broncos still lead. And it's a 12-10 lead here late in this first half. What a play. I would say that as far as plays at home, the most electrifying one of the season so far, as Moberg delivered that ball and Dufort stayed with it after it was initially deflected. Nice touchdown. Broncos have the lead right back as we go back and forth on this Saturday evening here at Hillside Stadium from the Tournament Capital Center in Kamloops, BC. Thanks for joining from wherever you are here, perhaps on Telus Optic Channel 1981 or online, bcfctv.com. Of course, the Broncos have a lot of players from the prairies, from Manitoba, from Saskatchewan, a lot from Winnipeg, Regina. So I know that the parents try and make the games if they can and make it a bit of a holiday out here in Kamloops. But if you're unable to make it, we appreciate you joining our live action here tonight. Empoyu kicks this one off. Not a great kick, but it got the mission accomplished anyways. And trying to find a little bit of room across the 25, just across the 25-yard line. And that's where the Kodiaks will go to work. on the kickoff handle. They're trying to get a number here, but this yellow on white, folks, is really, really difficult. And if you're on the Kodiaks board of directors here and you're wondering about your road uniforms, perhaps we can get a bit of a different white on yellow. I know the home ones really pop, the black and yellow, but these the white on yellow numbers is awful difficult for everybody, not only the broadcaster, but our spotters and our stats department up here as well. They got the binoculars looking in. All right, back to pass. Thiessen thought about it. Now he's under pressure, sacked on the play. Couple of Broncos in on the mix, including Chinaza Iloka, the Australian, one of the two on the play, and it's a big sack and a big loss. And the Broncos have come to play here in this second half. They'll spot the ball at the 20-yard line. It's a loss of 5, 2nd and 15. Heavy pressure. Iloka was in on it. He was one of the players. He'll share a sack. And the Broncos get it done on first down on defense. An injury here now. Looks like one of the players is down, and it appears to be the number. Looks like. All right, everybody's going to be okay. Don't have the 52 on the roster here tonight. That was handed off to us. Perhaps we can. Okay, that's Ben Wall, actually. Ben Wall was down, but looks to be all right. Coming to the sidelines, but Wall looks to be able to shake that off. Going to get on the bench, get some medical attention. 2nd and 15. So finally they get to Thiessen. He's been dancing around a little bit in the backfield. They got to him that time. Puts the Kodiaks deep inside their own zone. Trying to get this play set. We got the officials here over at the Broncos bench. And head coach Van Kennett having a quick word with head referee Sandy Baines. Sandy also getting a chance to get some water in the system there from the Broncos bench. Bit of a water break. Going to put a few seconds back on the clock. Have it at 4:15 remaining here in this first half. All right, we're ready to go now. Play whistled in. 2nd and 15 from the 20-yard line after the sack. Rolling to his left, Thiessen looking for some room, pressured from behind, throws, has a man. Did he stay in bounds? Let's see. They're going to talk about it. And are they going to say catch? There's been no signal here. They are spotting the ball, though. And it's going to be a catch and a first down on the far sidelines. Briere just need 1 foot down. And I think he did that and more. Nice play on 2nd and long. And is that enough for a first down? They're trying to reset the chains. Yes, it will be. Gain of about 17 on the play. Big 2nd down conversion for the Kodiaks. Halverson, he'll hand off far side. Couple of yards pushing forward on the play. And first down yardage of about 3. I believe that was, again, Xander Shane on the carry on that far side. 2nd and about 8. Give 2 yards on that first down possession. Got the sun shining on that yellow number as well. Boy, that's difficult on the far side of the field. Shotgun. Back to pass. Thiessen. Little screen. It's caught, and first down and more. Near midfield. Tackled on the play. Eventually, Ben Fair, their leading receiver. Fair converts on 2nd and 8. Well-executed play by the Kodiaks, and they're able to move the ball here again, just crossing midfield into Broncos territory. We're actually going to spot it just on the Kodiak side of the 55. It's called the 54. This will be our last play before the 3-minute warning. Thiessen in the shotgun. He's been effective so far this evening. He'll screen it out. Quick pass. Well executed again to the near sideline. Fighting forward. Ball battled with. And eventually moving the chains will be Ben Fair again. Is Fair a little bit slow in getting up after fighting forward for the ball, also trying to protect that ball. He had a teammate land on top of him too. And I think Fair is going to get some attention. And yeah, he'll just decide to take a breather after the first down yardage. Game's been played without delay for the most part. And you can see Fair just going to get helped up. Key receiver, we mentioned the yards and the receptions entering the football game here so far this season. He ended the game with 18. He's got, I believe, 3 more today, so give him 21. He started the evening third in receptions in the BCFC. But now we'll check out of the game here for a few plays. First down, inside Broncos territory. Ball spotted at the 42. Inside 3 minutes after the 3-minute warning. And a whistle in the play. Thiessen talking to his running back here. Getting the play to him. Receivers in motion. Well protected, throwing the ball down the field. Has a receiver, and it's in and out of the hands of the intended target. Another beautiful ball delivered by Thiessen, but unable to come up with the ball on the play. I think it was, let's get a number here. Could have been Nicholas Ramirez. Yeah, Ramirez, 84. Should have had that one. 2nd and 10. Boy, both these quarterbacks are throwing up some great balls here. Thiessen at times has overthrown some receivers, but that time he laid it right in there. Ramirez unable to haul that one in. Broncos need a stop here, at least to try to force special teams onto the field. Showing a bit of pressure. Back to pass. Flag flies. Ball comes out. Fumble on the play. Broncos are on it, but there is a couple of flags down here in the backfield. Coming up and showing the ball is, well, we've called him a few times here tonight. That's Luke Grinley on top of the ball, but we got all sorts of flags here. That might have been offside Broncos, and then you got a flag in the backfield as well. They'll sort all of this out. And the Broncos are looking for their 3rd turnover of the half, as Grinley ended up on that football in the end. Let's see what we have. Broncos, I should say the Kodiaks are going backwards here, judging from the initial thoughts of we got offside. Broncos, that's what we thought. They'll decline that penalty. Holding Prince George. So they should offset. Oh, we got an illegal block in the back against the Broncos. So through all of that, should just be re-down, right? It will be, yeah, 2nd and 10 after all of that. That's why the first penalty was declined, and the accepted penalty was the 10-yard variety for the illegal block. So those offset, and again, you have 2nd and 10. Late in the half, Broncos try to maintain the lead, but the Kodiaks with the ball. 3 receivers to the wide side of the field. Thiessen will roll that way. Looks for some room. Pressured from behind, trapped down. Did he fumble this one or did he throw it forward? It will roll out of bounds. Great pressure by Lenny Berg again. Are they going to call it a sack or are they going to call it an incomplete pass? They call it an incomplete pass. Boy, that was close. Thiessen nearly had a knee down as he was pressured from behind. The injured player on the field right now for the Broncos, Connor Shaw. Let's get a look at this one. Thiessen rolls to his left, pressured by Berg, and, oh boy, that's awful close to a sack. Ball did go forward on the play out of bounds. Jumping on it for the Broncos was Wall, and it will be a 3rd down and a punting scenario here for the Kodiaks instead. And you can see slow getting off the field is Connor Shaw. He'll get some help taking his time as he comes off the field. And a punting scenario here for Harper. Boy, I'd like to see Harper try this one from a field goal variety. It would have been about a 50-yarder, 51-yarder, but they'll save that for another day. Harper has shown that he has the leg for something 50 plus, but instead they will punt. Third down. Great spot to maybe run a fake too. Early movement, and they'll blow it down here before the ball is punted off. Who jumped early? We did see the Broncos go across the line of scrimmage. Were they reacting on movement? I think it's going to be offside Broncos. You just can't afford that, and now I think they're going to try the field goal. I think they're going to move this ball up 5 yards, and the field goal team might be coming on here. Let's wait and see. It would be about a 45, 46 yarder. Or is this the offense back on the field here, attempting just to go for it on third down? Yeah, they're going for it. The offense comes back on the field. So 3rd and 5. That is just a costly offside penalty. Unless the Broncos can get a stop right here. A team that has to play so clean on special teams to stay in ball games. They try to attempt to draw the Broncos offside again. Under quarterback Sawyer Thiessen. Will they snap it? They haven't done it yet. I think they're trying to just play a little possum here. Do they run out of time? Or do they get the timeout in? They do get the timeout in first. So the Kodiaks are just trying to see if they can get another free 5 and a first down. And if you're the Broncos, you have to be so aware of that scenario. So now, what do they do here with Harper? Boy, we've never paid so much attention to a punter and kicker the last couple of home games. Brady Harper will be punting this ball. Oh, that's no fun. It would have been a potential longest field goal of the year in the BCFC, which Harper has already with a 45-yarder. Instead, he will punt, or will he? He will. Try to angle it toward the near sidelines. Caught by Peterson. Handles it cleanly. Finds a bit of room. Still on his feet. 3 Kodiaks over there trying to stop his progress. But that's a win for the Broncos nonetheless, you'd think. Able to get the ball back and force the punt. And again, no wind. A chance to take the lead on a field goal attempt for the Kodiaks, but they punt the football. And I guess when your head coach was a punter in the CFL days, you elect to punt more than kick perhaps sometimes. So let's see if the Broncos can get out of the shadows here and try to take the lead into the half. Minute 58 on the clock. And it's Moberg again at quarterback. In the shotgun. Mikkel in the vicinity. And now they'll throw. Caught by Peterson. Up the middle. First down yardage near the 30. A little bit of trickery and a little bit of strong work on that play call and execution. Some misdirection and a first down. It looked like Mikkel was going to be the one that would take that ball, but quarterback Moberg able to deliver that ball to Peterson. Looking good here, now to the 29-yard line. On a first down. They will hand off. Jagorczyk, again, not a lot of room here for Jagorczyk. He might have got back to the line of scrimmage. Stockburger actually on the carry. So 2 backs, one wears 26, 128. And that was Stockburger. 2nd and 10. Broncos would be wise to use the entire 20 seconds of the play clock here in case they have to punt the football and hand it back over to the Kodiaks. That's what they're doing now, using the clock here a little bit. Shotgun Moberg looks to his left. He'll throw it up near sidelines. Jump ball and just knocked away. Good defensive play there by Grayson Crackle. Oh, excuse me, that was Aiden Leslie on the play. Leslie able to knock that one away. Intended target was Ty Holmes. And it's a punting scenario. So the Broncos get 1 first down. They get a little bit of breathing room, but they'll be forced to punt this ball away from their own 29-yard line. Jeeves has done a good job punting. He had one maybe angle out of bounds a little early on his last attempt, but right now right from between the hashes. Takes a high snap, gets it off. Good punt this time, high into the air. That'll chase Brown back. It'll bounce, and Eventually, it'll be picked up by Brown and a no yards call, and then a tackle out of bounds by Brown. And the Broncos did probably pretty good not to take a penalty late on the sidelines for that tackle. So some time, minute 1 second here to operate for the Kodiaks as they try to get it back at least into field goal range for their rangy kicker. Spot the ball after the 5-yard penalty at the 53-yard line. Looked like the Broncos could have done a better job to avoid the no yards, but almost just accepting the penalty and trying to contain Brown instead. First down. Late in the half. Thiessen again passing. Pressure. Throws it far sidelines, and that's thrown into his bench. Again, good pressure. You're seeing continued pressure from Lenny Berg, who is getting some attention. Looked like he was almost held a little bit as he was in pursuit of the quarterback, but Berg has really been a defensive presence in the game here so far in this one. As we approach halftime, second down. Again, I have not seen running back Halverson for the Kodiaks since the first quarter. Not sure if a situation of allowing maybe their depth running backs here to operate or not. Back to pass. Thiessen has a man. Again, little screen pass near first down yardage and some. It'll be a first down as Marcel Stewart gets involved on the offense. He'll get across the 45-yard line, call it the 43. It'll be a first down. It's been an effective play. Sort of an intermediate crossing route over the middle, catching receivers in stride. And I thought that Stewart stepped out of bounds, but they will actually roll the clock here. Back to pass. Thiessen, pressured, roll to his right. Trying to throw it downfield, incomplete. And again, he was looking for Carson Briere. Coverage provided by Josh Thiessen. Josh Thiessen out of Calgary. Shout out to the friends and family watching this one online this evening. Let's see if the Broncos again can hold here on second and long. Second and 10. Three receivers wide side of the field to the quarterback's left. One in the backfield. Backfield empties. Thiessen rolls to his right. Has some targets there. What will he do? Looks like he'll take off. He's been doing lots of that. We got flags on the play. Thiessen still running. Takes a hard hit, but this one is going to come back. Got a holding call against the Kodiaks. So that's going to push him back here late in the half. And negates another big run by Thiessen. Took a pretty hard pop on the play as delivering that one, Lucas Patterson. So you got to march back on the Kodiak side of the field across the center stripe. Uh-oh, actually spotted at the 53-yard line of the Broncos. Second and 20, 23 seconds remaining. Now at some point here, you might just decide to take some time off the clock and not allow the Broncos to get it back here on second and long, second and 20. We'll see what the Kodiaks have here for offense. Kodiaks have been a strong team in the second half. They're playing down here by two, throwing up over the middle, juggled and falls incomplete. Boy, that was up for grabs. Couple of Kodiaks who are both down on the play now across from our broadcast perspective, thrown into triple coverage down there, and a couple of Kodiaks are down, but now getting up on the play. It looked like Marcel Stewart was one of the players, lost his helmet. He's going to be okay. He'll get off the field, and it will be a punting scenario here for the Kodiaks. Maybe a chance for one play after the punt. We'll wait and see. Broncos, though, look to Just do what you have to do to take the lead into the half. Harper will punt it. He'll try to angle it toward the near sideline. It'll bounce on Peterson. Bouncing. And no yards as Peterson jumps on it with 6 seconds on the clock. Let's see if the Broncos just elect to take a knee and take the lead into the half. Time for one play if you really wanted to maybe try to spring your big man, Meikle. See if he can maybe out-jump somebody. No yards is the call. 5-yard penalty from our head referee, Baines. It's the Broncos with the lead, and they should be taking the lead here into the half. See what they have in mind here. Well, they're gonna play it out here. No knee formation. Back to pass. Moberg throws it far sidelines. It's caught. Holmes will stay. Yeah, it'll just do it for the clock anyways here. He was looking for the far sideline to try to stop the clock, but that'll take off the remaining 6 seconds, and the Broncos have themselves a lead here at half at Hillside Stadium. Couple of majors, including an unbelievable play for that touchdown strike. Brock Dufort picked up the tip, and he scores the major. Cam Jagorczyk with the other, and it's a 12-10 Broncos lead into the half. We'll take a break for halftime. You are watching BCFC football online at bcfctv.com and TELUS Optic Channel 1981. Back with the second half when we return.
If you're serious about exercise, if your health and fitness means working hard to see results, reaching your maximum physical potential is what acceleration is all about. Acceleration can help you achieve your specific goals with professional strength coaches. Whatever your fitness level, whatever your age, whether working out on your own or as a team, Acceleration Kazora Strength and Conditioning. 100% effort, no excuses, do the work. If you're serious about exercise, if your health and fitness means working hard to see results, reaching your maximum physical potential is what acceleration is all about. Acceleration can help you achieve your specific goals with professional strength coaches. Whatever your fitness level, whatever your age, whether working out on your own or as a team, Acceleration Kazora Strength and Conditioning. 100% effort, no excuses, do the work. If you're serious about exercise, if your health and fitness means working hard to see results, reaching your maximum physical potential is what acceleration is all about. Acceleration can help you achieve your specific goals with professional strength coaches. Whatever your fitness level, whatever your age, whether working out on your own or as a team, Acceleration Kazora Strength and Conditioning. 100% effort. No excuses. Do the work.
sponsor, Stinger Radio, Cooper Equipment Rentals, and Western Vaulting, where precision meets performance in every ball we play.
Hey, football fans, welcome back to Hillside Stadium. We got a great game going here as the Kamloops Broncos will take a 12-10 lead into the second half against the visiting Prince George Kodiaks. Again, a beautiful night for football, and the Broncos will be kicking off here in this second half. Kodiak set to receive, but for the Broncos, looking for that first win. They've been able to get majors from Cam Jagorczyk and that 64-yard touchdown deflection catch there by Brock Dufort. That has given the Broncos a lead into a second half of football. But the Kodiaks will receive, and they will try to get it done here on offense. That's been sputtering somewhat. Jacob Empoyo set to kick off, handling the kickoff duties. He'll get a good kickoff here, and that'll be handled around the 20-yard line. Up the middle, Brown, a little bit of room, and still on his feet. Look out. He's explosive. He'll take off. Down to the 40, the 30, still on his feet, wrestled out of bounds, and if you're the Broncos, you have to find a way to keep the ball out of Brown's hands. Andrew Brown, the top punt returner in the league, and this time handles a kickoff, and you just got to find a way here to not let him burn you. Late flag on the play. Likely wrestled out of bounds. That'll be against the Broncos, I believe, and that'll be a costly one here for sure. So just like that, the Kodiaks flip the field on the very first play out of the half, and the Kodiaks have instant field position on that massive return from Brown. And you got to be so good on special teams. If you're the Broncos, we've talked about that a few times here. You cannot allow special teams to hurt you. And this is a big one here after the spot. We'll wait and see where they put this ball down. They got to get the ball here first. It's way out of bounds, and one of the officials will bring it back into the play. So a late flag as well on the tackle out of bounds. And look at this. The ball goes all the way to the 2-yard line. So if you want to find ways to lose, this is one of the ways right here. Chapter 6. To find a way to lose a football game. So here we go. First and goal. That didn't take long. Quarterback will hand off up the middle, fighting forward and into the end zone. And that is Gavin Halverson back in the game. Their number one running back takes it up the middle, and he is good for the major. And just like that, we don't even have a minute off the scoreboard here, and the Kodiaks have the lead. It's 16-12, set up on that massive kick return to start the half from Andrew Brown. Harper will look to get the convert and extend the lead here to 17-12. Good snap. Harper's been money all season on the converts, now 10 for 10 on the year as he splits the uprights. And just like that, a big return, and the Broncos find themselves now trailing the game by 5. It was a first half where they generated 8 first downs, as we're going to see a quarterback Moberg come back out here, and Carter Moberg, pretty good first half numbers, 10 for 16 passing, 177 yards. Mentioned that 64-yard touchdown reception by Brock Dufort, part of 3 receptions and 83 yards. Ty Holmes, 3 catches for 45 yards. The Broncos did well on the penalty front, taking 7 for 30 yards, compared to the Kodiaks, 10 penalties for 105 yards. So a lot of costly penalties for the Kodiaks, and that's part of the reason why they trailed. That and some turnover trouble in that first half. Now they'll kick off. And the Broncos have Peterson and Stockburger deep here for this kick return, as the Kodiaks have flipped the field just like that and flipped the scoreboard. It'll be handled by Colton Peterson, the Kelowna native, up to the 15, now the 20. Flag comes in here from the back judge, or actually from the head official, on the return. Well, that flag was well away from the play. And we'll see where this penalty spots the ball. Right now it's at the 30-yard line. We'll await the penalty here from our head referee. So we had a pretty clean first half. Already some flags here on special teams here to start this second half, which is a necessary roughness to the Broncos. Chop block will push them back all the way to the 15. So again, shooting yourself in the foot has become a bit of a tradition this season, especially in the second half, and the Broncos just can't have a clean play. They've had 4 negative plays against them so far in this game, in this half, when you count special teams. Let's see if Moberg can move the ball on offense as effectively this half as the first half, as Jagorczyk tries to push his way forward, then runs into a bit of a wall. Got a few on first down, as Coach Van Kunet will continue to try and establish some sort of a running game. Give 3 to Jagorczyk on the play. And the Broncos on 2nd and 7. 2 receivers split each side. Back to pass Moberg. He'll throw. Has the receiver into the middle of the field. It's caught for a first down. Big play, and it's Jeeves on the reception. He gets it done. Well thrown ball. And Corey Jeeves, another Australian on this roster, moves the chains here on a big first down, considering that penalty on the kick return. Moberg gets the call from the sidelines. Again, the 3rd quarterback that has started a game for the Broncos this season, this being only their 5th game. Kieran Beeler out with a knee injury in the very first quarter of the season. And that's been difficult. Chase Witzel saw some action. Now it's Carter Moberg, who has a pretty impressive junior football resume. They'll hand it off. Jagorczyk tried the left side, and again, not much doing, as they will continue to try and pound this football on the ground. Jagorczyk, a smaller running back that tries to hide in there. Not much doing. Tackle on the play. In there was Alexandro Tanos, one of the linebackers. Give Jagorczyk a yard. Not a lot of yards in that first half. 2nd and 9. Let's see if the Broncos can convert on 2nd and long for the second time in this drive. Moberg, pressure comes, got to get rid of it. Does. It's caught over the middle. Big hit over the middle, but It will not be a first down. A gain of a couple on the play, and it's third down. Moberg had to get rid of the ball. And a good pop on the play. And the Kodiaks have come fired up. Nick Tremblay on the tackle after a gain of 2 on the catch. That'll force a punting scenario. So the definitely see a bit more emotion from the Kodiaks here coming out to start this half. And they might have been challenged to up their game against the winless Broncos. This is a good punt. It'll chase Brown back, but he has a knack for returns, and he has more room again. Gets by the first couple of tacklers, and special teams continuing to be a bit of an issue for the Broncos as Brown will return that near midfield. He found a way to get the first 2 tacklers miss, just waving at the air, and Brown takes off near midfield before he's tackled out of bounds, and it's the Kodiaks on offense. So far, you look at the tail of the game so far, what's been the big difference? And it's been special teams, both sides of the football so far. At some point, maybe just pound that ball out of bounds. Except you can't do that, of course, on the kick return. Early movement. Flags fly again. Now the Broncos starting to make mistakes. A free play. Thiessen realizes that, throws it up. There's contact in the secondary as they were looking for Braden Van Summeren. But the free 5 yards. Good awareness there by Sawyer Thiessen. Quarterback realized that it was a free play, but now he's not so sure. Looked like Thiessen was trying to, it is offside as thought. So it is a 5-yard penalty and call it 1st and 5. And the Kodiaks go back to work as they cross the midfield stripe. Again, Broncos starting to take penalties, starting to make errors here after a pretty good first half. Give up the middle, and that should be enough for the first down for Halverson. We didn't see a lot of action in that first half. Took a couple of early runs in the first quarter, and then we saw 2 other running backs come in for the Kodiaks, but he's back in here now in this third quarter. Kodiaks with the lead and with the ball now spotted at the 48-yard line in between the 2 hashes. Thiessen, again, looked like a little bit early movement. Thrown and incomplete. And looking at his hands on the play was Marcel Stewart, who has a couple of drops in this one. Stewart couldn't bring that one in and was disappointed with himself. It'll be 2nd and 10. See here if the Broncos can force a punt. 2nd down. Played 5 minutes of this second half. Quarterback Thiessen, high formation here. Backfield empties, looks to his left, throws it up and nearly brought in, but incomplete on the play. And we're looking for Quinn Newcomb. And Newcomb couldn't quite bring that one in. It will be a punt scenario here for the Kodiaks, as Newcomb did a good job to try and get a fingertip and bring this back, but unable to corral it on the play. Good coverage as well provided, brings up 3rd down. Kodiaks up 5. Harper into punt. 2 returners for the Broncos here deep, including Colton Peterson, who's had a majority of the handles. And Peterson looks like he'll field another one. This punt, though, will bounce near the 20-yard line. Take a Bronco bounce upfield. And the punter can get that ball. And did he? Let's see. Did the punter jump on it? The flag does fly for no yards. Broncos are indicating it's their ball. The Kodiaks are celebrating like it's theirs. They come up with the football. Have we seen a signal from the officials yet? Now the punter's the only one who can get that ball. And it is going to be Kodiak football here, I believe. Let's see what we got. Yes, Kodiak's football. Flag's been picked up, and another one of these errors in the second half for the Broncos here, unable to get momentum going. And that's a tough one. You think you're getting back on offense, and whatever reason, these second halves have just been an absolute letdown for this football club. And so far, that same story is playing out for whatever reason. Perhaps the Kodiaks coming back a little bit more determined, but there's your turnover. It was a punt that bounced back, and again, Harper, how many times can we talk about it? I mean, another great play jumping on that football, the punter who was able to get downfield and get on that ball. And again, we called him likely the MVP of the game here a few weeks ago, and you could make a case again here so far. Thiessen loads of time, now pressure, throws it up for grabs, might be intercepted, it is in the end zone. Broncos get it right back on the far side of the field. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. Thiessen had time, maybe too much time, then he threw it up, and on the interception, I believe that is Fenton Munson. Munson is way down the field here. Might have come up with that one. Trying to get a number on the interception. I believe, yeah, it is Fenton Munson. So he gets the job done. And that's a massive turnover for the Broncos to get the ball right back and attempt to try and put some points on the board to cut into this Kodiaks lead. So turnovers on consecutive plays puts the Broncos where they likely would have been had they jumped on that punt. They'll screen it out. It is Jeeves. Jeeves fights for, lost the football, and who's on it this time? The Kodiaks, did they get it back again? Are we talking 3 turnovers on 3 plays? Kodiaks are pointing like they have it. There's been no signal from the official yet, and now they do have the football. Jeeves coughs it up, and the Kodiaks jump back on it. We've had 3 turnovers in 3 consecutive plays. Junior football at its finest, some would say. And just like that, it's going to be another turnover, and the offense back on the field here for the Kodiaks. Great field position, 19-yard line, as they look to build on their lead up 17-12. Sawyer Thiessen just a play ago, throwing that interception in the end zone. Right back out here now. Thiessen in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the wide side of his field on the right side. Backfield empties again. He's protected well. Throws over the middle and caught. Touchdown, Kodiaks. Nice ball delivered by the quarterback. Thiessen, the veteran 5th-year QB, delivers 6. And the Kodiaks have taken over here in this second half with back-to-back touchdowns in this third quarter. Beautiful ball thrown up, caught and complete, and a touchdown catch by Matthew Sturgis. That strikes for 19, and a touchdown Kodiaks. They go up here by 11, pending a convert here by Harper. We told you has not missed a convert so far this season, trying to go now 11 for 11. And that ball is down and through. Good leg of Harper. 25-12 now your score for the Kodiaks, leading the Broncos. And again, the Kodiaks have been a team, they've had their own second half struggles this season. Good starts against some of the top teams, unable to sustain it in the second half. And it's the Broncos now who have been outscored 14-0 in this half and have surrendered the lead here again in this third quarter. Sun beginning to put a bit of a shadow on Mount Peter and Mount Paul out to our broadcast left. Sunset tonight in Kamloops in just after 8 o'clock this evening. It'll cool things down here significantly for the players. That temperature on the field well over 35 Celsius for a kickoff here this afternoon and this evening. But noticeably dropping here as the shadow now takes over the field. So Broncos 2 deep here to receive, trying to get the offense back going again. Had a tough fumble on that last play from Jeeves. Peterson handles the ball. He'll take it far sidelines. Good return thrown out of bounds on the Kodiak side near the 35-yard line. And we got a Bronco down on the field as well on special teams. But a decent return for Colton Peterson before he's tackled out of bounds. We'll see if we can take a look and get a number on the injured players now up under his own strength. And that looks to be Levi, or I should say Dexter Mallow, who's listed as a running back, but getting some opportunity here on special teams. Okay, Broncos, this is a drive where they have to put together some first downs and maybe some points on the board as well. As Moberg approaches 200 yards passing in this game. Ball spotted out the 29-yard line. That's where they'll go to work. Back to pass. Over the middle. Was it caught? No. Trying to scoop it and grab it was Brock Dufort. And Dufort just couldn't quite make the play, but his first half included 3 catches for 83 yards, leading receiver on the Broncos side. 2nd and 10. Broncos break huddle here on the far hash. Again, another passing scenario here. Both these quarterbacks have aired the ball up pretty well here today. Moberg back to pass. Throws over the middle, deflected, falls incomplete. As they were, again, looking for Dufort on the play. He was defended well. And it will be a 3rd down and a punting scenario here for the Broncos. Sputtering a little bit here in this half. Jeeves will come out wearing that 0 number to punt this ball away here on 3rd down. So it looks like going to be good field position here. It's Brown, the returner, who's had a good game. Andrew Brown, one of the top punt returners in the BCFC, standing around his own 45-yard line. That ball blocked. That punt is blocked, and the Kodiaks have jumped on it and will add to the woes here of the Broncos in this disappointing 3rd quarter of the football game. Breaking through, 2nd time that there's been heavy pressure. Punt recovered, or the punt block recovered by Kenny Bouvet. And it's going to set the Kodiaks up well in red zone territory of the Broncos, just like that. Boy, it's just been a comedy of errors and problems for the Broncos in this 3rd quarter after playing a really good half of football. Now they're behind the 8 ball big time. Spot the ball at the 10. 1st down, Kodiaks. Let's see if they go for it here on 1st down. They will run the ball, trying to outflank to the 5 and into the end zone, touchdown. And the Kodiaks are starting to run away with it here with this 3rd quarter that has gone down the tubes for the Broncos with 3 major scores. Nice play to outflank and punching that into the end zone. That's James Comstock. Comstock listed as a quarterback on the roster, and he's able to get into the action. He's excited to get off the field, putting 6 points up. So that's twice now that the Kodiaks have turned a switch the field around into a touchdown. After the block punt, they strike. They're going to have to go up here 31-12 here with the convert. That's 21 straight points here in this 3rd quarter. And the Broncos, whatever it was at half, this does not look like the football team that we saw in the first half of the game. And the Kodiaks have been able to take over. And a team that won the game 33-13 back up here about a month ago or so in the first head-to-head battle. Now is a similar score, up 31-12. These 2 teams will play one more time in Prince George coming up later on this season. Now that could be a really big game for the Kodiaks. For the Broncos, though, here trying to find a win before heading north up to PG for that rematch. Plenty of time on the clock, but special teams again. Have we talked about that enough? Just how much it's hurt the Broncos here so far tonight. And a block punt. We saw the Kodiaks nearly block a punt in the first half, if not for Jeeves doing some fancy footwork to spin out of some pressure and get that ball off. So it's all Kodiaks here in this third quarter. Bit of a shorter kickoff. It'll be handled. Somebody jump on the football, though, and it's handled there on the far side. Try and find some room with Stockberger, and he does find some room. Cuts back in the middle. Stockberger, good return across the 40-yard line. That's exactly what the Broncos need here to try to flip some momentum. Stockberger picked that ball up and was able to punch it forward and nearly broke free. Gets it across the 40-yard line. Broncos can't ask for much more than that. The Kodiaks, on their side, they've cleaned up what was a penalty-laden first half. 10 penalties, accounting for 105 yards, and they've done a much better job of that here so far. They march the ball. They actually will spot it at the 48-yard line. Penalty against the Kodiaks on that return. So you see if the Broncos can capitalize here. Colton Meikle could be a guy targeted here on the receiver side. The west side product hasn't been that busy. Thrown to the left. Caught. Fighting forward. Trying to get more yards. And eventually tackle on the play is Brock Dufort. Again, Dufort with another catch. Their leading receiver heading into the game. Some hard-working yards to try and get that across midfield before he is eventually tackled by J.J. Abogi, among others. And a little shaken up on the play is Dufort. Yeah, Dufort had the big defensive lineman there land on top of him. He was trying to fight forward. Sometimes you just got to, lack of a better term, you got to punt when you're in a situation where you're fighting for yards. Just have to accept it. And probably stayed on his feet a little bit longer than he had to and paid the price for it. Let's hope that Dufort's okay. Looks like he's favoring sort of his rib cage area. Might have fallen on top of that football. Hard fought 7 yards on first down. So Dufort checks out. And we mentioned that he's had a really strong season. Dufort out of Clavet, Saskatchewan. Handful of players here from the Wheat Province and also Manitoba. 2nd and 4. Moberg pressured over the middle, and Meikle had his hands on it, couldn't corral it. It's going to be 3rd down. What do the Broncos do? Do they leave their offense here on the field? Let's see. Right now, their offense will stay on the field for this 3rd down play. 3rd and 4 near midfield. Again, punting has not netted you much. A block and some big returns from Brown. So let's just keep the offense on the field. Let's try that. Let's just eliminate special teams from the equation. I like the call here by Braden Van Kenen. At times can be a bit of a riverboat gambler for sure. Back to pass. Moberg pressured, though. He's in some trouble. He'll throw it off. It's caught. Zagorza, can he get to the first down marker? He can't. He'll lose a yard or two on the play as they screened it out here to Cam Zagorza. Not much happening on that play. It was defended well by the Kodiaks, and again, they'll get off the field, and they're showing a lot more emotion than they did in the first half. And they'll take over here on offense. So 1st down Kodiaks as Thiessen comes back out and onto the field to try and lead the Kodiaks to what could be a 4th major in this 3rd quarter. From the 53-yard line of the Broncos. Now a comfortable lead for the visitors. Pitched off. This is the quarterback, Comstock, and he's going to run. Remember, he has the touchdown earlier in this quarter. He's going to run it out of bounds, but it looked like for a second that we would see a throw on the play from James Comstock, who has a rushing touchdown in this game. And that time will get about 5 or 6 yards. Broncos just look a little deflated. That play goes for 6, an easy 6 as they set up the blocks. Looked like the play might have been an option for Comstock to throw that ball. The Kodiaks just taking over in this third quarter after trailing at the half. 2nd and 4.5, call it maybe 5. Thiessen shotgun again. Pressure comes. He'll dump it up over the middle. It's caught. And again, more yards for Comstock. He'll get a first down near the 35-yard line. And the backup quarterback has been a running back and a receiver in this second half. And he's able to fight off a tackle. He's eventually bumped out of bounds. Lucas Patterson over there to help him out. And this veteran football club with 20 players, 20 or over for the Kodiaks. They definitely out-experienced the Broncos. They have been moving the ball here, and they're showing a little bit more strength and a little bit more of just determination in this half. Quarterback keeper looks to be Thiessen. He'll look for the sidelines. He'll step out of bounds. I think he's short of that first down marker. But we're seeing a lot of, I don't think this is maybe a broken play. Just a bit of an option. And Thiessen was trying to get to that first down marker. Didn't quite do it. He's short. And it'll bring up, should be 3rd down. Well, 2nd down, excuse me. Okay. 2nd and about 5. Ball spotted from the 29-yard line. This drive taking some time off the clock. Thiessen. Now 4 receivers to his left, but he'll look right. Flushed out of the pocket, and he's going to be sacked here on 2nd down. Coming through, it's Lenny Berg again. He's had a really strong game defensively. Lenny Berg getting it done on defense here tonight. And that'll force 3rd down and perhaps a long field goal attempt. We've been asking for it all. This one would be about a 45-yarder if the Kodiaks elect to go for the field goal attempt. Looks like punt formation here for Harper. Again, remember, Harper has a 45-yarder, but they'll just elect to try and pin the Broncos deep instead here late in this third quarter. Harper standing back at his own 52-yard line. Just one returner for the Broncos here. Good punt by Harper. Handled near the goal line by Peterson. He's able to dance out of the end zone and get to about the 5-yard line on the far side of the field. So another good punt for Harper as Peterson fielded it cleanly and stepped out around the 3-yard line. So it'll be tough field position here for Moberg and this Broncos offense. They'll go back to work. So Berg was the one that delivered the sack to get the defense off the field. And because that ball was returned out of the end zone on the punt, the Broncos get the 20-yard line. That is the BC Junior rule. So that's why they move the ball out to the 20. Just got to get it out of the end zone. A little bit of breathing room here. Early flags here, and this might be procedure against the Broncos. Let's wait and see what the call is. Definitely some early movement. Indication is against the Broncos here for offside. I think the receiver on the far side of the field was all the way across the line. So that'll move it back 5, and boy, just can't afford to make the field any longer than it is here so far. 31-12 Kodiaks, thanks to 21 unanswered points here in this half, or this quarter. Back to pass, Moberg, well protected over the middle, has Jeeves. Jeeves trying to cut it upfield, gets back about half of the yards required, maybe 9. And it will be 2nd down. Well, gain of about 12 on the play. So 2nd and short. Jeeves able to squeeze that one, hold on to it this time. Had a costly fumble earlier this quarter. Back to pass again. Time for Moberg. He'll air it far sidelines. Has the receiver caught. Cutting back into the field of play. Looking for a little bit of room. And great work on the play there by Ty Holmes. And Holmes catches that long pass toward the near sidelines. Got to throw that a long way on the Canadian field. And Moberg delivered to Holmes. First down, they'll move the chains. Broncos not out of this game, but have to start putting some points back on the board here. Moberg again. Spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Looked like they wanted to hand that one off, and now they'll just throw it out of bounds. I think there was a problem on Moberg and Cam Jagorczyk. They're trying to talk it over right now as far as what side that handoff was supposed to take place on. And you can see some disappointment from the offensive coordinators on the Broncos side, and that was basically a broken play, and just Moberg had to throw it out of bounds. That brings up second down. Broncos trying to move the football here. Different formation here. You got Jeeves and Meikle both in the slot. Holmes wide out to the left side of the far side of the field. Back to pass. Over the middle, and Jeeves doesn't know if it was his ball or someone else's, and it falls incomplete. And it will be third down, and Broncos will be punting this one away. Moberg zipped it in there, trying to find Jeeves around midfield. And instead, Jeeves will go back and handle the punt. Last time punting, blocked deep inside their own territory. Now we'll punt this one away. From the 47, standing back, he will get this one off. Decent punt. Be wise to keep it away from Brown. It goes out of bounds. And at least you limit a no return here for Brown, who's had a good game in the return front tonight. And the Kodiaks will go to work from their own 43-yard line with a comfortable lead here, 31-12, late in this third quarter. John Keane on the call here for TELUS Optic 1981, BCFCTV.com. Thanks for tuning us in, everybody, on another warm summer night in Kamloops. It's been a great summer here in the tournament capital. Usually, sometimes August can get a little smoky, but there's been enough moisture in the interior this year that have kept some of the fires at bay. It's been a really nice summer. Thiessen, he'll take off, looks for a little bit of room. He doesn't like to slide either. He'll cut up midfield and more room. Flag on the play as Thiessen eventually is wrapped up and thrown out of bounds near the 30. There's a flag that will negate this run from Thiessen. He's had a couple of long runs come back in this game, and boy, he's got to be frustrated. He has been running at will, but this one also will be coming back for Thiessen. Bring up 1st and 20 on the hold. Unless they give him yards gained, we'll wait and see. Officials talking about it here. They might give the yards gained first before that hold on the run. So Swain indicates a hold and a first down. Let's see where they eventually spot. Nope, they won't give him any credit for that. They're going to march it all the way back, spotted at the 33-yard line. 1st and 20. In what could be the final play of the third quarter. No break huddle. Lights coming on here at the stadium. 1st and 20. 3 receivers to Thiessen's right, but he's looking left. He'll again dump it off. Holding again in the backfield. There's a flag. Big crunching hit on the near sideline. And that was delivered by Keegan Curtis, who drops the hammer. But another penalty upcoming here against the Kodiaks. It might be a hold. It was in the backfield. Or it might have been a low block. Regardless, though, Thiessen, I think, was maybe angling for a low hit, a roughing the passer hit below his knees. That seems to be what he's indicating. I think he wanted it. He's not going to get it from the officials. And Sandy Baines come out asking what he wants to do. He's asking Coach Van Koonet what he wants. He'd be wise to accept the penalty yardage here because it was a positive play forward. Some of the mechanics taking longer than they should here of getting the penalty call in. Although they are giving the options to head coach Van Koonet. Looks like actually that he may decline the penalty here, which would also end the quarter. We got the Morse code system going on to communicate back and forth. And, okay, low block. Let's see what it does here, though. Wish we had our officials mic'd up like we used to. That'll end the quarter regardless. And the two teams will flip sides, but a dominant quarter for the Kodiaks. They put up 3 majors in the third quarter. Outscore the Broncos 21-0. And will take a 31-12 lead here into the fourth quarter. With the ball, though, albeit well behind the sticks on this upcoming second down play. Mentioned the Broncos, 30 points in 4 games. That's last in offense. The Kodiaks, got a hockey, not quite hockey season yet, folks. The Kodiaks, 90 points entering this game. Third most points scored in the BCFC so far this season. So a big interception from Fenton Munson, who's also their tackle leader this season. He entered with 20 tackles. Second in the league, actually, in that category. Now he has an interception to go with it. So through all those penalties, it's second and a mile here for the Kodiaks on offense. And again, the side judge line judge coming in here to direct some traffic. And we're going to try to get a play in here at some point. Clock is running here to start the quarter, and time ticks off. Second and long from the 30-yard line. It's a quarterback keeper all the way. Thiessen still on his feet, able to initially avoid being tackled. He'll get about 10, but the Broncos will take that, no doubt. They will force a punting situation here against the Kodiaks. The Kodiaks will be punting that ball away. Thiessen just trying to get some sort of positive yardage. Injured Bronco on the field now across from our broadcast vicinity. Hillside Stadium. Injured player on that third down, or that second down, I should say. And I believe that is, Cullen O'Brien, who's down and now up, holding his chest area. Let's hope that Cullen's okay. He'll make his way to the sidelines. Cullen O'Brien out of Winnipeg. So the Broncos here will hopefully get some good field position out of this upcoming punt from Brady Harper, who again is a story in this one. Remember, he jumped on a punt earlier in this half that set the Broncos up with good field position. We got another flag in behind the play. That bounces away to the sidelines. Look, that's trouble. But that flag in the back, maybe a contacting the kicker. If it is roughing the kicker, that's an automatic first down, I believe. But they'll sort it out. Again, just a needless penalty here for the Broncos. You're going to get the ball back. It's third and a mile. And now we'll get the official call. This is turning into one of those games where there's flags on nearly every play, and it's the officials have to call it, especially anything involving a punter or a quarterback here, but we're just seeing flag after flag in this second half. And that flag will be against the Broncos. Head official Sandy Baines holding against the Broncos, but I think, see what else we have. That's it. All right, strange one for that flag to be thrown where it was for holding. You don't see that very often. But here we go. Broncos on offense here, trying to get some points in this half. Down 19. 3-score game right now. Moberg again, this time pressured, and they're going to call it down. He was sacked. He was in the grasp, and they'll call it a sack for the Kodiaks. As right in there, the big man able to make the play, and that was that was Ethan McGinnis. Sorry, Carter Hall, the defensive lineman, in on the sack. They'll give Carter Hall the sack. And that'll be his first sack of the season for Carter Hall. I haven't mentioned Caden Crow's number all that much. Second down, and again, not much going here on offense. And that's another sack, back-to-back sacks on the play. And the Broncos offense here will get off the field. Moberg was done in under, and eventually J.J. Abugai, who had such a good game here last month. J.J. Abugai should get credit for that sack, and it's a third down upcoming. And another punting scenario here for Jeeves. Corey Jeeves will stand back near his own goal line. So for the most part, Moberg's been well protected, but that time not a lot of room for him to get set up. Jeeves handles the punt. Of a low punt that'll bounce. Took a good Broncos bounce away from Brown. He's been dangerous. He'll handle it on his own 54-yard line and just go down and fight forward. So that's the best the Broncos have done at containing Brown here on the returns. He's had an excellent game. Not much going this time for Andrew Brown. We mentioned that entering the game, number one punt returner in the BCFC. He had 235 yards of punt return yardage. He has done nearly 100-plus in this one so far this evening to add to his league lead. Decent field position from the 55-yard line. Broncos go back to work on defense here, trying to get off the field. Back to pass. Quarterback Thiessen. He'll screen it out. It's caught. Again, it's Comstock again. Cross midfield. That'll be about it. Maybe 3 on the play. So he's become a target here on offense. James Comstock has a touchdown and a couple of receptions and a run as well. Give him 2. Bring up 2nd and 8. As dusk falls across the stadium here on this 2nd down and long play. Near midfield. 3 receivers to the wide side here for Thiessen. He'll look left, now over the middle, now flushed out of the pocket. He'll dump it off, has a receiver. It's caught, looking for a bit of room. It's first down yardage here for the Broncos, or I should say for the Kodiaks, as Cale Cowley comes up with that one. Cowley, second catch of the game, and that's enough here for a first down. Moves the ball to the 40-yard line. First down, and the Kodiaks have had a steady diet of passes here in this game. They like to air that ball out. Both these teams do, in fact. Play action, dumped off, incomplete this time. Looking for the far sideline. It's been an effective play to sort of wheel back for Thiessen and just dump it off and try to get some blocks set up on the play. And he was looking for Nick Ramirez, but Ramirez couldn't track it down and took a tumble into his own bench. 2nd and 10 from the 40-yard line. Broncos here trying to limit the damage. Maybe force a punt. Let's see if they can get off the field. Big 2nd down here. Back to pass. Thiessen double clutches, now pumps it over the middle and outthrows everybody in the area code as Keegan Curtis, the all-Canadian safety, was looking for that interception. Thought he might have had a shot at it, but everybody was overthrown. He was more or less looking for the hit than he was that ball for the interception. And it brings up 3rd down, and again a punt for Brady Harper. He'll come out and punt this one off. He's had some good punts here tonight. Remember, the Broncos just have to get that ball outside their end zone if it does get in, and they'll automatically get the 20-yard line. They'll send 2 back to a return. Colton Peterson, one of the ones deep. Harper, flags fly, angled towards the middle of the field. Looked like it hit one of the members of the Kodiaks. And again, more flags fly. So we're going to have flags on both the line of scrimmage and likely a no yards as well. So there was movement at the line, and then obviously we had no yards against the Kodiaks. So we tick into the fourth quarter. Officials again will huddle on up. Well, the Kodiaks really will get tested next week as they'll return home, and they will be hosting the Okanagan Sun. Broncos will hit the road for a few before returning home here September 20th against the Valley Huskers, and another home game October 4th against the Okanagan Sun. Broncos heading to the island next week to play West Shore. Another tough matchup here coming up next Saturday. As we mentioned, Prince George will go back home to host Okanagan. So after all of that, I think we're going to see another punt here, I believe. Based on where they're marching this ball all the way back. Spotted at the 50-yard line through all of that. Lengthy delay to move the ball 10 yards. And it looks like they'll punt it out here again. So we'll just redo that down, but move back a bit further. Clock will run now under 10 minutes to go in this game. Harper now standing at his own 45-yard line. The game has really just kind of hit a wall here with some of these penalties as of late. End over end punt handled on the fly and down at the 35-yard line. Good play to grab that one on the fly and not turn it over. It's tough to catch those punts running in on the play. But that was a nice play made by Keegan Curtis, who we've seen a little bit more in the special teams return game here lately. And he handles that play. 24-yard line is where they will spot this ball. 31-12 your score. Moberg, again, we mentioned a couple of great seasons there with the Regina Thunder and the Prairie Football Conference. He will play action, screen it out. It's caught. It's Mikko. Puts his head down, still on his feet. Takes on 4 defenders here for the Kodiaks. Loses the helmet through it all. Gets it returned from J.J. Abelgai. Those are some hard yards for Mikko. Just wants to hit somebody by the looks of things. So get it across the 30, maybe the 32-yard line. Took a pretty good hit in there as well. Give him about 9 on the play for his second reception of the game. Brings up second and short. Moberg will hand it off. Jagorczyk, some room. First down yards and a bit more on that right side. They'll move the chains. Jagorczyk coming up 95 yards in Chilliwack. Takes that ball. And the diminutive back, enough to move the chains here, gets that ball to the 39-yard line. Far hash. 3 receivers, 2 quarterbacks left. He'll look that way. Throws it up over the middle, behind the target. Looking for Brock Dufort, trying to haul in another one. Around the 50, instead it's second down. Ball at the 39-yard line. I don't know, are the Broncos in 3-down territory here already? I guess that might be decided on just how many yards they can gain here on second down. Second and 10. Moberg again. 3 receivers to his right on the short side of the field. Flushed out of the pocket. Trying to dance around, get out of pressure. He's going to be thrown down on the sack. And the Kodiaks get a 3rd sack here in the half, as they were able to wrestle down Moberg. Weston Shields on the sack will force the Broncos into another punting scenario. So Shields gets through with the sack. And that's going to be his 3rd of the season, so he takes over the team lead in sacks. He was tied with Jason Kratt entering the game here this evening. And we have an injured player belonging to the Kodiaks. We hit the midway point of the 4th quarter. Tough game for the BC Lions earlier today in Toronto as they lost to the 2-8 Argos 52-34 as the Argos put up 52 points against the Lions. The Lions were able to move the ball on offense, but quarterback Nathan Rourke did toss pick 6 interception and seemed to turn that game around in favor of the Argos. And earlier tonight in Calgary, the Stampeders rally back to beat Saskatchewan. Score was 32-15, I believe. Here, just getting an update. Yeah, so Riders fall to 8-2, and the Stampeders now right behind them at 7-3. That loss by the BC Lions, bumping them now to 5-6, and really their only hope for a playoff spot would be in the crossover. Slowly off the field here. That could be a big loss for the Kodiaks. J.J. Abagai, who is a key run stopper right of that D-line. Punt here for Jeeves. Good snap. Flags again. Brown chase back. Ball bounces at the 40. Heads near out of bounds and will get out of bounds around the 36. Now we have another flag here to deal with in behind the play. And offside is the initial indication against the Kodiaks. So they may tag that on to the punt or decline it. It was a good punt. Regardless, no return for Brown. Ball went out of bounds around the 36-yard line. And they will decline it after a really good punt there from Jeeves and a favorable bounce to get out of bounds and set up the Kodiaks now on their 37-yard line. They're in charge of this football game, up by 19 points with just under 7 minutes to play. Kodiaks back on offense here. We'll see how they approach this up 19. They try to take a drive that takes more time off the clock. Thiessen, though, has just been throwing the ball all over the field today. And they'll hand this one off this time. Running right into your living room here across the 45-yard line. And on the carry was Xander Shane. Had a couple of carries back in the first half. Shane will get about 8 or so. Maybe 9. Kodiaks here, 2nd and short. They break their huddle. Broncos D's been on the field a lot in this second half. Let's see if they give them a first down now. Okay, now they've signaled a first down, I believe. Chains are a little bit behind the chains here right now. Are they going to stop the play? Yeah, they will. Didn't think it had enough for a first down, but they will give the Kodiaks a first down on that run. And they'll run it again. Trying the right side. A little bit of room up the middle, across midfield. First down yardage on the play. And Xander Shane's been hard to bring down on back-to-back runs. Yeah, the Broncos just look a little worn out here on defense right now. You can see Noah Jonticik trying to indicate to the officials that he was held, but no flag this time. We're okay with that. We're in favor of no flags around here. First down. So now a little bit of the running game here for the Kodiaks with a healthy lead in the fourth quarter. Quarterback keeper. That doesn't go anywhere. And Comstock now into the game was running the ball all the way. And again, he's been active for a backup quarterback. He's played a few different positions here tonight. And he's wrestled down on the play. There to make the tackle in on it was Chinaza Iloka, one of the Australians on this Broncos side. Comstock got back to the line of scrimmage, and it's second down. Second and long. Back to pass. Comstock rolls to his left. He'll air it out, and he's got a receiver. Did he bring it in before getting out of bounds? I think he did. I think they're going to call it a catch. We got another flag on the field, though. Hold on. In the area of illegal contact. But it could be a legal block. We'll see what the call is. It's going to be a first down, I believe. Head referee Shane says illegal contact, just what we thought it would be. Sandy Baines, I should say. And that'll be a... You decline that, don't you? Move the ball. Not sure why the Kodiaks are way on their side of the field here on offense, guys. I think they thought it was against. They moved back 10 yards. And we'll get this sorted out. The Kodiaks are hanging out way back on their own 45-yard line before realizing it was a penalty on the Broncos. First down anyways on that catch. And the Broncos moving the ball here with second-string quarterback Comstock. James Comstock. Shotgun. Faking the pitch, rolling to his left, trying to get free. Now running toward the sidelines and out of bounds. That's going to be a loss on the play, as the Broncos did a good job on that play. And Fenton Munson was one of the players. Also in pursuit was Dylan Woodman. And also over there having a strong game, Lenny Berg. So that was a loss of 5 on the play, as Comstock tried to get back to the line of scrimmage. We approach the final 3.5 minutes here, this one. Second and long. Back to pass. Chased again. Comstock under pressure, throws it downfield and out of bounds. Incomplete. Battle for the football. And good coverage that time by the Broncos. I was looking for that one. Let's see downfield. Let's see if we can get a number on that receiver down there. Looked to be Keisha Fontaine. Keisha Fontaine, I should say, and he was able to fight, but good coverage. Brings up third down in a punting scenario here for the Kodiaks. Broncos do not have a point. They don't have much of anything in this half. Gave up 21 points in the third quarter, and the difference is what you see right now, 31-12. Harper to punt, another strong game for him. This is a high punt. We got another penalty, though, in behind the player. We're going to have a roughing or a contacting the kicker, and that's going to be on Berg, I think, again. I don't know how many of these punts here by the Kodiaks we've seen that flag in their backfield or in there where the punter is. And the official is talking to Berg right now about it. And it's going to be roughing the kicker, everybody, and that's going to be an automatic first down. And that's just like an individual play. Like there's not much else that you could say. I mean, that's a solo play, just those two back there, and it results in an automatic first down. Berg knows it. He went to the sidelines, kind of pointed it. That's on me. And it's another first down here for the Kodiaks. Thanks to the automatic first down on a roughing the kicker penalty. Inside 3 minutes. Kodiaks back on offense. A give up the middle. 4 or 5 yards maybe on the play. And Xander Shane again getting some carries in this game. Comstock just handing the ball off. In on the tackle. Looks like Dylan Woodman made the play. So Woodman gets the tackle here late in this game. He's out of Regina. Second down and 5. Kodiaks in control of this game. Clock running here in the fourth quarter. Again, well, this time Comstock will roll to his right. He will throw. It's caught, complete. First down yards and a little bit more down to the 10-yard line. Caught on the play by Nick Ramirez. And Ramirez able to get the first down. And it might be first and goal. If not, just outside the 10. They'll call it actually spotted at the 11. So it's first and 10.
First and 10, still an opportunity for a first down. On the 11-yard line of the Broncos.
See, the Broncos can get a late stop here.
With 2 minutes remaining in this game. The Broncos.
From the 11-yard line, Comstock. One back behind him. 3 receivers to his left. In motion. Back to pass. Throws over the middle. Into coverage. Intercepted on the play. Nice interception. It's Noah Janacek, a linebacker, in coverage. And Janacek will get the pick. And the Broncos will go back on offense, throwing that ball up for Kasaya Fontaine, but this time well defended. That pushes it out to the 20-yard line here, and a second big interception in deep inside their own territory, around or in the end zone. We saw Munson come up with an interception earlier in this game. Kodiaks go to work on offense here. Sorry, the Broncos will go to work on offense. There we go. Thrown, caught. Few yards for Colton Peterson on the first down play. Get about halfway to that first down marker as Moberg delivered the ball. Good tackle on the play made by Charles Chimali, who was one of their leading defensive backs. Leading tacklers entering the game. He had 17. Second and a long 2. We'll call it second and 3. How about that? Moberg from the near hash. Hands the ball off. First down yards, a little bit more here. Still on his feet. Good run by Dexter Malo getting the carry. Nice work by Dexter Malo, I should say. Malo gets it done on the second and short run. Good to see Dexter Malo getting some carries, and that was a good run that gets the Broncos up to the 40-yard line. Back to pass again. Moberg over the middle. Jeeves just dropped it. Hit him right in the 0, and Jeeves couldn't squeeze it. Good ball delivered by Moberg. That'll hurt the stats book. Couldn't have put a better one in over the middle. Seen Jeeves drop a couple here tonight. The ball now second and 10. Nose on the 40-yard line stripe. Moberg here on second and long. Protected. Throws near sidelines. Caught again. And that should be first down yardage, or awful close, yes. And again, Ty Holmes on the reception before he's brought out of bounds. Moberg stays into that pocket well. Delivers that ball. Moberg trying to get to 300 yards passing. Has a ways to go here, but maybe on this drive if he can find its way to into the end zone. First down. Moberg looks to his right now. It is caught. Far sideline. Still on his feet. At the 35. Down near the 30-yard line. And again, another one from Holmes. Ty Holmes busy here late in the game. Finding some room on offense to operate. Broncos trying to punch one in, but time not on their side here. 33 seconds to go. Injured player. And that's Holmes again. He may be just catching a bit of a breather. You can see him looking for some air. Looks like he's going to get up on his own here eventually. And he's been busy. Out comes the training staff of the Broncos. Might be cramping up here a little bit. And if Ken mentioned, we mentioned the heat in this one. Colton Meikle, interested bystander here as well, his teammate. But this score will likely be holding up here, and the Broncos dropping now to 0-5 on the season. The Kodiaks building momentum. A third straight win to get to 3-2. Tough test for them, of course, next week at home. Maybe they find out where they're at as far as the BCFC goes as they take on the Okanagan Sun. Broncos have a trip to the island upcoming here with West Shore. West Shore's coming off the game against island rival Vancouver Island here this week. Holmes is going to get up, make his way to the sidelines. His night is likely done after a couple of receptions and catches. He works his way off the field. Ball spotted on 32, and the Broncos go back to work here with a first down on the sticks. Shotgun Moberg, one in the backfield. Back to pass again. Moberg, good protection, throws it into the end zone, has a man out of the reach, flag flies. Pass interference in the end zone. That'll likely move the ball all the way to the 1-yard line. Moberg looked off the safety, then delivered it into the end zone. Boy, really good at chucking that ball. He was looking for Meikle. Meikle, I think, most of the season has been held and obstructed and everything else to try to keep Big 17 from catching passes. This one will go PI in the end zone. 15-yard penalty, we're told. Okay, thanks very much, guys. That actually spots the ball instead at the 17-yard line. Pass interference, moving the ball here to the 17. I think they're trying to get Meikle that touchdown. He's had a couple called back on him the last couple of weeks. Back to pass. Play action over the middle. Delivered. Caught. Inside the 10. Fighting forward. And eventually tackled near the 7. It's Jeeves. Jeeves this time. That one stuck to him. See, the Broncos can get into the end zone here in what might be one of the final plays here of the game. 16 on the clock. When that clock will run when they whistle it in, but they'll call a timeout, Broncos actually. So the Broncos not conceding anything. They'll get a couple of plays. They'll get a couple of plays here out of this, you'd think. First and goal from the 7-yard line. Moberg gets the play from the sidelines. He'll join the huddle and relay the message. Late in this one, hope you stuck around here on Telus Optic, BCFCTV.com. See, the Broncos can end the night and push this game into an over scenario. The line coming in, 42.5. We just made that up, by the way. But we're trying to add some excitement. Moberg into the corner of the end zone. Jump ball. Meikle can't bring it in. Defended on the play. Again, looking for Meikle. Well defended. Trying to throw to the corner of the end zone. Nice defensive play. And again, they'll go back to the sidelines here for a play. Holmes checks back into the game here, so didn't expect him to be back, but here he is. He'll line up for what will likely be the last two plays here of the football game. on offense anyways. Quarterback Moberg takes the low snap, picks it up, rolls to his right. He's under pressure, throws, and tipped up and incomplete. Thought there was a chance at a potential interception. Third down, Broncos lead the offense here on the field. Good pursuit on the play that time from Jesse Hamann. Getting some action in this one. So 3rd and goal. Broncos trying to get a moral victory out of this one here. And the Kodiaks trying to defend here and keep it at 12 points scored against them. 2 majors, Jagorczyk and Brock Dufort. All right, here we go. Shotgun, 3rd down. Pressure comes. It's thrown back of the end zone. Double coverage. It's intercepted. And the Kodiaks will just take a knee, and that'll end the football game here tonight. And the Kodiaks hold on defense and improve to 3-2 with their 2nd road win of the season here in Kamloops. They'll be headed home to host Okanagan with a bit of momentum. The Broncos, they'll drop to 0-5 in a trip into West Shore against a really good football team in the Rebels. Great job here by our crew, led by Andrew, our game producer, and all the staff here in the heat tonight. Thanks for joining us, everybody. This has been BCFC TV coverage of the BC Junior Football League and as well TELUS Optic Channel 1981. I'm John Keane. Good night from Kamloops. Harper go over and make the catch around his 12. Tries that right sidelines, runs to the far sidelines, and eventually is pushed out of bounds. Now just wait, and that might be Broncos' an opportunity here to try to punch it in and take the lead. From the shotgun is Moberg. He will hand it off. Jagorczyk will go in, and he won't be touched. It's an empty backfield. Rolls to his right, looks for a target. Will he take off again? He'll throw. Has the receiver open, caught, still on his feet, tackled, eventually down by the 3-yard line. Thiessen out of the shotgun. One in the backfield. Early movement and a direct snap. It's a touchdown, but Moberg, 3 receivers to his right. He'll look over the middle, looking for a man, and tipped and then caught. What a play. 5 to the goal line, and down at the 1, no touchdown. About our spotters and our stats department up here as well. They got the binoculars looking in. All right, back to pass. Thiessen thought about it now. He's under pressure. Sacked on the play. Hoyo set to kick off, handling the kickoff duties. He'll get a good kickoff here, and that'll be handled around the 20-yard line. Up the middle. Brown, a little bit of room, and still on his feet. Look out. He's explosive. He'll take off. Down to the 40, the 30, still on his feet. Wrestled out of bounds, and if you're the Broncos, you didn't take long. Quarterback will hand off up the middle, fighting forward and into the end zone. And that is the case again here so far. Thiessen loads the time. Now pressured. Throws it up for grabs. Might be intercepted. It is in the end zone. Broncos had they jumped on that punt. They'll screen it out. It is Jeeves. Jeeves fights for it. Lost the football. And who's on it this time? Kodiak. 3 receivers to the wide side of his field on the right side. Backfield empties again. He's protected well. Throws over the middle and caught. Touchdown, Kodiak. Game. Andrew Brown, one of the top punt returners in the BCFC, standing around his own 45-yard line. That ball blocked. That punt is blocked, and the Kodiaks have jumped on it. And Kodiaks, let's see if they go for it here on first down. They will run the ball, trying to outflank to the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown, and the Kodiaks in motion. Back to pass. Throws over the middle into coverage. Intercepted on the play. Nice interception. Here on 2nd and long. Protected. Throws near sidelines. Caught again. And that should be first down yard. First down. Moberg looks to his right now. It is caught. Far sideline, still on his feet. To the 35, down near the 30-yard. On in the last couple of weeks. Back to pass. Play action over the middle. Delivered. Caught. Inside the 10. Fighting forward. Shotgun. Third down. Pressure comes. It's thrown. Back of the end zone. Double coverage. It's intercepted. And the Kodiaks will